So I had to build a attic in my garage for more storage space. So I needed a attic ladder, and I had multiple choices. I went with a WIILAYOK brand. I've got that in the link below. I was going to go with the Louisville ladder, which I really like. However, I did have a major issue with it, and it consists of this extra space right here on the ladder. The issue is you can't get your footing because it hits that insulation. Here it is from the top, and it kind of makes it so it's kind of unsafe. Here's how your foot would be normally on a ladder. But that's why I went with the WIILAYOK, and I think it's going to be a good choice. The first thing you need to do is measure your ceiling frame to the floor. And then you need to find out your opening. In my case, it was 22.5 inches. And I didn't have any drywall, so 54 inches was perfectly fine. So here I am unpacking the thing. Right here, I cut the caution label, and you can see that I didn't want to do that because it actually holds the ladder together, so I re-zip tied it. But this comes with three things: the footings, the bolts, and the directions. So I'm using my scaffolding here, and boy, scaffolding really helps. Got a link here to a similar scaffolding below. It's actually a better deal than the one that I had, but really makes this job good. So right here I'm pounding in the header and using a square here to make sure it's square. I'm actually just leaving it there. I'm not screwing it in quite yet, and I'll get to the reason for that. A lot of guys will put the header stud here. I'm just kind of clamping it in with my Irwin clamp here. And these things are great. If you've never used these before, it's really worth getting. Kind of expensive, but there's a link below, especially if you're by yourself, which seems like I always am when I'm working on something. But I've got the header in, and a lot of guys put the footer in too, and then they try to fit the ladder in between them, and it doesn't, it just fit, or it's too loose, or it's too tight. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to put the ladder up, and then I'm going to put my header and my footer around it. So right now I've got the header installed, and I'll be putting the footers. Right here I'm installing the temporary support braces. There's going to be two, and again, these are temporary, and this is going to hold the ladder. So I've got the ladder here. It's doing it with the scaffolding. It's a one-person job. It's not crazy heavy, but it's cumbersome. Here I'm adjusting it here. And so I was lifting it up. You want to make sure you put it in correctly. The arrow is just pointing to a little hole to where the pull down cord is, and make sure that's in the direction you want it. So
Quick. Support the channel and get a great shape. We have premium razors in chrome, matte black, and rose gold with 10 platinum coated razor safety blades. That's getting a premium quality razor in about 50 shades for under $20. Break free from ridiculously expensive big razor companies. Amazon link in the description below.
so it's again, it's kind of cumbersome, but it's manageable with one person. If you have drywall, you would need two people and have one guy on top. But in my case, because I don't have drywall, I don't need to do that. So here I'm screwing in the header because I can push it right up to uh, the ladder casing, and I'll eventually do the same thing with the footer in the back. Again, I can just put this in there. I don't need to size it up. I can just put it snug and screw it in. And this would be the footer, and I think it saves a lot of time. Again, I'm using the Irwin brace, and just screw it in, and I'm good to go. You will need to buy shims. That does not come with it, and you'll have to put the shims between the ladder casing and putting in the temporary screws. These are temporary. so I can open the ladder. And so I can screw these in, I can remove the temporary supports and open the ladder. Comes with 8 points, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 and 8. And that's where you're going to want to put the screws. And here I am screwing it in. But again, right here I'm screwing it into the footer. And pretty simple. And you can either leave the anchor screws in, the temporary anchor screws, or you can remove them. But here I removed them because I actually use those for the temporary supports. Here I'm removing the caution label, which I had to retie because I took off. Now I'm able to pull down the ladder. You will have to adjust your ladder, so you will need to cut it. In my case, between the hinge and the floor, it was 28 inches. The footing, the rubber footing, well, the rubber sole footing that comes with the unit is 6 inches. So I subtracted 2 inches. So I had 8. I wanted 8 inches, 26 inches remaining. So I subtracted the difference here and hacksawed it off. So you can see there's obviously a space there, but put the fitter in there, and voila, kind of goes right on there, and enough material to screw it in, to make a hole and screw it in. So again, I really like this ladder. It's half the price of the Louisville ladder. I didn't say that earlier. It's not half the price. It's almost half the price. But for the money, it's just as good. It doesn't have that insulation on it for the footing. And this is just a really nice attic ladder, and I think it's worth getting. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. If you did like the video, please give me a thumbs up. Please use the links below. That does help the channel. And consider one of our razors. These are premium razors or lifetime razors, and just something that really supports the channel as well. Thanks for watching.